Suki and Scott Show. The 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 Suki and Scott Show. It's the Suki and Scott Show. 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 The Suki and Scott Show.
Oh, look at us, Sook. We're back for 2025.
Look at this.
We started what, 2020?
2020.
Right before the pandemic.
4 years.
Here we are, Suki. It was almost 5 years.
Well, we're almost going to May 5.
February will be 5 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Wow.
It's incredible that we're here, and it's all thanks to you guys.
We look exactly the same, by the way.
I don't think we've aged
We
a
haven't
lot.
aged in
No.
5 years, Suki.
Yeah,
I
and
believe we still look fantastic.
hopefully everybody had a great holiday. Hopefully everybody was able to relax, enjoy their time with their family and their good friends.
I want to send out our condolences
Yes.
to Jeannie Clay, one of our favorite viewers since
Jeannie.
2000.
Yeah.
Jeannie lost her mom over the holiday.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Jeannie.
I saw everybody talking back and forth about Jeannie's mom. So, Jeannie, our condolences to you, and we wish everybody, a happy and healthy New Year. And we're back, Sook. We have guests lined up through the roof.
It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting to see how much the show has developed over the years, and kind of like the progress of it all, and the fact that we've been able to grow it inch by inch through your hard work, through Jeff's hard work. I've
More
just
my
been
hard
coming
work. I
along.
think it's
I've
more
just
my
been
hard
coming along
work.
for the ride, so it's been great.
But speaking of Jeff, let's get him up here for a second before we start the show. I got to make sure
Jeff.
he's still alive. He's still alive in there?
Happy
What's going on?
2025,
More
Jeff.
than alive. You may look the same. I look better than when we first started. I'm sure.
You
of
do
it.
look rested.
Does he look the same? I
am
feel like he looks older.
I
no?
feel like he's rested, a little bit more relaxed. We've had some downtime, so
Yeah. All right.
apparently he's been traveling to Utica.
Yeah. What are you doing? What's going on in Utica?
Actually, I was in Las Vegas.
Okay, Las
Oh, he
Vegas
was
too.
in Las
Okay,
Vegas, too.
Las Vegas has some, good things going on.
Somebody was having
Yeah.
fun in Las
Somebody
Vegas.
was having a lot of fun. Did you get to catch some shows or anything like that?
I did actually.
He caught some shows, caught a few diseases. He caught it all.
What
No,
shows did you go see?
I saw the Michael Jackson, the Cirque du Soleil Michael Jackson show, which was phenomenal. You don't even know where to look. It's between the dancing, the music, the lasers, this trapeze. They're coming out of the roof. I mean,
Did you go see the Sphere? Have you been to the Sphere at all?
I was not at the Sphere. Everybody was an off week, so all the bands were out. So I'm going to go back and see the Eagles when they come back. There's a U2 movie there now that's supposed to be really good. So I was pretty busy, pretty booked. I highly recommend, by the way. There's a show called Absinthe. It's an adult show.
Hello.
Oriented, adult slanted show. It's in a tent in front of Caesar's Palace. It's been there for 13 years. I've seen the show 4 times.
Have you? Is it like absinthe, like the actual drink? The absinthe.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and when you see the show, you're hallucinating with laughter. I mean, it's like nothing you've ever seen. I mean, it's for me, it's the best antidote, for anything you've got going on. Go to that show. You have to just be prepared for raunchiness, raw humor, and just unfiltered comedy. It's really
nice.
I think Las Vegas, you just go there. There's so much to do. I mean, you don't have to necessarily gamble. There's so many shows. There's so many exhibits to go see.
Yeah.
I
never leave the Spearmint Rhino, Sook. That's where
what is the Spearmint Rhino?
It's the strip club.
Oh, is that God? Notice I didn't know what that was. I haven't been there. I was about to say I love the shopping there too, because there's some good shopping
at
to be
Caesars
had.
in the mall.
Caesars in the mall, exactly.
It's true. I wasn't going to mention this, but I'm not sure if most people in the audience know this, or you guys, but Vegas is the bowling capital of the world.
Bowling capital?
Yes,
I mean, we have a bowling champion right here.
Well,
What'd you bowl? I said, he told me he was going bowling.
I did go bowling.
I said,
did.
send me your score when you're done.
And he did it.
I never heard from the guy.
Okay.
Well, it was electronic. Before I could snap a picture, it was off.
It was
But
all gone.
I bowled 3 games. my first game, I bowled 235.
With a house ball.
Yeah, with the house ball.
Soup.
Is that good?
With him, you got to take 50 points off.
Okay.
Well, I'm not counting the 4 spares that I missed.
Well, that's good.
Make it a 185.
185. That's
It was
what we're
pretty
going to
good.
do. 185.
I was better than I thought I would be after all that layoff and a house ball.
I
Exactly.
love it.
Well, we're happy to have you back, Jeff. Happy
Yeah,
2025.
glad
We're
you're still
taking the show to
alive.
a new level.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show for you. We'll get it officially underway. Jeffrey, here we go. Give it the old. We got a new intro, by the way.
Yeah.
Scotty made a new intro.
Oh, look
It
at
was
us.
time.
We're busy.
It was time, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, pretty baby.
The Suki and Scott Show.
I mean, the name Sookie and Scott, if it was Sookie and Ed, it would suck.
Honey bun?
Honey buns is the number one answer, Suki. 32 people.
I'm not scared of you at all. I'm supposed to be scared of you.
Dementia runs in my family, so I don't know how much time I got left. But
I said, I've got my mind made up.
You guys are always wonderful. You have great energy.
Producer.
Things in a portal.
Nice.
Just like a pet, I want to take you there.
Upset Spike.
Oh,
there you go.
We all live in a yellow submarine. A yellow submarine.
The Suki and Scott Show.
That's the best intro for a show I maybe have ever seen. Your intro's fantastic. And cut. and scene. And scene.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, the Suki and Scott Show back for a whole new bunch of programs. Jeff, are you supposed to be on with us when we come up after the intro?
I didn't know there was a rule book unless we have new rules.
There is a rule book, but that's okay.
I mean,
You
Soup,
know,
did you ever see?
he
did you
makes
ever
his own
see-
rules.
We've
talked about this.
Did you ever see Gelman come on the show?
Yeah,
when
actually,
Kelly and
I
Mark,
have.
at the beginning of the show?
No, not at the beginning. but
When
I
they
have.
when they intro Kelly and Mark, they walk out, they hold hands.
Yes,
Right? You never
there's a
see
moment.
Gelman doesn't walk out with
right in
them.
front. But you know what? Jeff feels that he's a
I mean,
third
I
member.
thought we had this covered when we went to HR and
Jeff,
talked about it.
I believe
about it.
that-
We need to come back full, and then we introduce you.
I
Okay,
mean, this,
But in this particular case, we were presenting alternate opening songs. So I was here.
Okay, because wait. That was an open that Scott put together, and then tell everybody what was going on.
oh,
and that
okay. So
made
you have
your
a
own-
new intro with a jingle that you feel would be the better opening
Correct.
for the show. Okay, let's take a look.
Let's just do a little history. I did the Suki and Scott, the Ballad of Suki and Scott, which I performed, which you guys walked out on.
Yes, remember that we walked
I
out.
did, I
to-
remember.
yeah, we never came back.
One of the low points of my career. Thank
It
you.
almost made me quit the whole business. That whole.
But now I have taken the words to the studio to two professional musicians, John Fletcher and the Frog, who are in a band called Nation, recording stars, amazingly talented guys. They have rearranged the music. They've taken over the vocals. They've harmonized it. This is what you're going to see.
All right, let's see it. Let's see
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
It's the Suki and Scott Show. They're the funnest hosts in town. Now it's time to get rid of that frown. It's the happiest show around. They cheer you up when things get you down. Clips, jokes, lots of folks, and Phil's vocal sounds. Ah, yeah. It's the funniest show anywhere around. They're bringing laughs to your town.
So true.
So when you're wearing a frown and want to turn it upside down, we guarantee you'll have a comedy meltdown. Because it's time for the Suki and Scott Show.
And cut.
I liked it. I liked it. I liked it.
You know, there was a fella who's not with us anymore in that video, right?
He had Jerry Springer on for like 2 years after his death.
That's true. Agreed. Did you guys see the Jerry Springer documentary? It's out on Netflix
Yeah,
now.
that came out on
Have
Netflix.
you seen it?
It's called Fights, Camera, Action.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
I want to. You know, we should get Steve back on there.
Oh,
Wilkos. We should call him up and get him on.
All right, Jeff. Listen, we'll all kick it around. We'll see which
I thought
ones
it was
we
great,
like.
Jeff. Thanks to your friends.
Very nice. You didn't have to pay them, did you?
That's an executive producer's prerogative. It's his business. You guys are behind the desk. I'm in front of the desk. Don't worry about the payment. Was your
Don't worry
code
about it.
Your code
I
number
won't.
was 7731, right?
That's to my green card.
Exactly. All right.
Unreal. All right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got a fantastic show for you today. There is a fella, Suki, that I saw on Instagram.
Because we like to get a lot of influencers on there because we know
so many talented
people. Yeah.
Joe Altier, I think it's Altier. He'll tell me. I want to get the exact pronunciation. Singer, songwriter, up in Syracuse, upstate New York. And I got to tell you, Suk, the guy does his own original music. He does covers, which are fantastic. I went down a rabbit hole with Joe one day, and I reached out. I said, "Hey, man, you got to come on the show."
Because it's something that you've probably learned in the last 4 years of watching our show, close to 5, is that Scott and I really are frustrated musicians. That's something that we both wanted to be.
Yeah.
But we never were. We never practiced. We never listened to our mothers.
We stink.
You know, when they gave us lessons, we're like, another time. Joe, on the other hand, he listened to his mother since the age of 5. God bless him.
And he's so busy. He's doing so many gigs, and he's going to come on in just a little bit. I also said, listen, I said to Joe, I said, you know, when we're done with the interview, you gotta give Suki and I a little lyrics quiz, you know, because we always love to do that.
Okay.
But before we bring Joe on,
yeah,
I got a couple quick things I want to show you.
Okay, let's get some business out of the way.
I have one thing I saw the other day. Jeff, this is about the sports anchor, so I'm gonna ask you to bring this up.
Okay.
Suki, in Sacramento.
Okay.
You know,
California.
In California, you know, on TV there'll be a news anchor in one room, and then the sports guy's like in another room,
right?
Maybe sitting next
like
to his
two-shot,
computer,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
So one guy threw to the sports guy,
yeah,
and the sports guy's sitting in front of a computer.
Was he eating a sandwich?
He starts and on the computer, he starts giving you the sports report. Jeff, you could throw it up. He starts giving you the sports report, and he's got Rihanna in lingerie. You see the picture of Rihanna on his computer?
I love
so Rihanna's in lingerie in the background.
All right.
And it is just, he starts giving the report, and he looks like such a straight up guy. You saw the picture of him.
But you know what? He's got to get a swirl on.
Jake Gadon. Rihanna's got, I guess, she's got new lingerie out for Valentine's Day. Yep. And he's got her up in the background.
I don't. Do you fault him for that?
Listen, I don't fault him for it. You got to be careful. Listen, I've had worse things up, but they just don't. They're not in the background. But I just saw that the other day.
Did he go viral on that?
He went viral. The station hasn't commented whether he's been suspended or not.
Oh, I hope he's not suspended. I mean, that was an honest mistake.
One guy wrote into this. One guy wrote in while he was on the air. He's like, "Boy, you're doing some sports research back there."
He's just doing some research.
But it was very funny. Sports anchor caught locked in on Rihanna in lingerie.
You know what? I hope Rihanna actually comes to his support because honestly, if he was to get suspended or something like that.
Oh, it's so great.
That's such a knee-jerk, stupid reaction.
And Suk, I pulled on Instagram. You know, I always have people do polls and they do all kinds of stuff. So I pulled a couple of poll questions. I want to get your answers.
Okay.
To see
it's not the Suki mailbox. Is
no,
it?
this isn't the Suki mailbox. We're going to pull that out again soon.
Okay, we're going to get that back.
Dear Suki. So Suk, one of the ones I pulled out. What's your favorite dance move when no one's watching?
Roger Rabbit.
Which is what?
When you do the Roger Rabbit.
How do you can do the Roger Rabbit?
I mean, I'm not going to get up because we can't.
Can you do it in the chair?
No, you can't do it. But it's an old school '80s move.
Oh,
it's
really?
Roger Rabbit.
Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, look it up.
You know my move. I'm just like, I do that.
You're doing the shopping cart.
The move, yeah.
You're doing the shopping cart like you're going through it. Yeah.
If you could have dinner, Suki, with any celebrity, who would it be?
Oh boy, any celebrity?
Yeah. Let's go with living. Not even living. Let's go with living celebrities. Who would it be?
I just watched Funny Girl, so I'm going to say Streisand.
It would be a woman, not even a guy, not even like The Rock or
no, I would love The Rock. I would no one's saying no to The Rock. Or
he wouldn't be your first choice.
Yeah, I'd probably go to like I would love to talk to Katharine Hepburn.
Really?
Or I'd love to you said living, but I would love to talk to like an old like Marilyn Monroe. Oh, you know what I just saw?
Yeah.
At Christmas, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Yes.
I mean, come on, what an incredible movie.
Yeah, she was gorgeous.
Gorgeous. You
Gorgeous.
wondered why the mystique of Marilyn is still there. You watch these movies and you're like, brilliant. The timing was incredible.
The ultimate pinup girl.
She was, and she is. Jane Mansfield, not so bad.
Gorgeous
too.
Ooh la la, Suki, as they used to say.
And who did the Playtex commercials? Jane
Russell. Jane Russell.
Jane Russell
That's
was her
right.
co-star
Jane
in
Russell.
that.
You're really going to the
What
wow.
another beauty.
Yeah. You know what was unbelievable to me? You know me. I love Pamela Anderson.
Oh, have you seen the Showgirls movie?
I haven't seen it, but
Okay.
I saw her doing an interview. And I couldn't believe
how beautiful she still is.
She still looks beautiful, but she never wears makeup anymore.
I love it.
But while she still looks beautiful, it doesn't even look like the same person.
Really?
100%.
See, I feel like it's just a better iteration of who she is. Like, you know what I mean? An older, like she's embracing. Have you watched her documentary?
No.
Okay, so if you haven't seen why, Pamela Anderson is sort of reclaiming herself, it's because she's been constantly, subjugated to this look of being a pinup, like men's passions, men's fantasies, and she's been, really used by the industry and sort of spit out. So she's reclaiming her power and her beauty and how she wants to present herself. And what the most amazing thing about that documentary is her children, her two boys, are just so supportive of their mother, and it's just incredible because she talked about her love for Tommy Lee and how they had these two beautiful children, and how it was all exploited, the sex tape, and how people continue to use them in vicious ways that ultimately led to the destruction of their marriage.
Suk, if you could pick a theme song every time you walk out your front door, what song would that be?
Oh God, it's got to be Diana Ross. I'm coming out.
I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I got to let. That would be it. When you walk out the door, there's a band there, and they're playing that song.
You got the drum hook. You're like, nice.
All right.
You know who had that as her theme song? God bless her. Wendy Williams. Back in the
right.
She did.
You know what I think mine would be?
What is it?
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
What?
And
Throw your
finally,
hands up.
last question before we bring Joe on.
Go.
If you could teleport anywhere in the world during your lunch break, for lunch.
Yeah, for lunch, just for lunch.
Where would you go?
I'd go to the beach of Spain.
The beach of Spain.
Yeah, like the south of Spain, and have a nice lunch. Look at the ocean, have a little sangria and like a tinto de verano, because they don't have sangria. A tinto de verano.
A tinto de who?
Tinto de verano.
A tinto de verano.
Yeah, it's like a kiss. It's like a kiss of summer. And have that, and have a nice cup of coffee. Ooh, a little fish.
Really?
Done.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where I would go.
I'd probably go to the Playboy Mansion, have a little lunch there. I heard they have a good buffet.
Would you go to the grotto?
If I go to the grotto, little buffet at the Playboy Mansion.
Is the Playboy Mansion still happening?
No,
Somebody
there, but somebody bought it. It's like a regular home.
Would you ever
now.
rip down the grotto? If like,
No,
I mean,
you got to keep it all the same. I mean,
I don't know if you keep it all the same.
A little deep clean, but you have to keep it all the same.
A deep clean.
Got to scrub that whole place down.
I mean, they need to do a huge documentary on that, right?
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Altier is coming up, singer, songwriter, excellent pianist. I said pianist, Suki. Don't get your mind out of the gutter. Take a look at a little bit of Joe, and then we bring him in on the other side. Watch this.
Never find you cold on a sandy beach. You'll never drift for oil on a city street. You know you're looking for a ruby in a mountain of ice, but there ain't no Coupe de Ville hiding at the bottom of a cracker jack box. Can't lie, can't tell you that I'm something I'm not. No matter how I try, I'll never be able to give you something that I just can't.
Whoa, well, there's only one girl
That
that I will ever love, Suki. Joe, how are you, buddy?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good to see you, man.
I-
See it, Suki.
It's just Joe.
That's all he
It's
needs.
just Joe. Joe, you got to give us the correct pronunciation of your
Joe,
last
yeah,
name.
how do you say your last name?
It's Altier.
Altier, you were correct.
Okay,
You were
beautiful.
right on.
Yeah,
It's originally Altieri,
Ah,
Italian, and
version?
my grandfather took the I off,
okay.
probably to hide from the mob.
Probably. So you don't want to reclaim that eye? Is that what you're saying,
Serious.
Joe?
I'm dead serious. I think my grandfather grew up in Utica, New York, and then in his early 40s, he left Utica and moved all the way up to a town called Hammond, New York, which is way up on the border of Canada,
Wow.
near Ogdensburg, and then settled down with my grandmother and had my dad.
Mm.
We don't know what the hell happened between 0 and 30.
Prior to it? Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't know. We don't know what he was doing all the way up in upstate New York. An Italian just decided to leave and go.
Well, back in the day, I mean, Utica was such a bustling city. There was so much going on, on all fronts. So, I wouldn't be surprised if there was
Suki was a big TV star in
there were
Utica.
some shenanigans.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was like the upstate hub from the mob in the early 1900s.
1900s, yeah.
There's a lot of history up there. So, that was right around when my grandfather he left there,
A young man.
In the 30s. So, yeah.
That's amazing. And Joe, you've been playing the piano since you're 5 years old. Is that true?
Yeah, there was a piano in my house. My mom had always, I had 2 older brothers, and my mom played a little bit in church when she was younger, but never really, pursued anything outside of that. But she always loved music, and there was always a piano in the house. She tried to get my brothers to play, and they weren't really having it. But me, probably about the age of 3 and 4, I started sitting down and banging on the keys. And by the age of 5, my mom realized I was showing way more interest. So she taught me how to read music.
Wow.
The simple stuff, just the notes on the piano, and we wrote on pencil across the keys, and she taught me how to read the bass notes and the clef notes and all that stuff. So it was I started learning to read music at the same time I was learning how to read words.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So
It's been intrinsically in your body ever since.
It's really weird because most people don't start gravitating to music until on that level until they're teens. So not to say I was like some prodigy. I just started taking to it a lot sooner. So
Joe, this might be a ridiculous question, but do you remember the first song you ever played?
The first one that I remember, because a lot of it I had, I had sheet music that my mom had around the house, those older stuff, but that I started bringing the radio out or my record player. And I would sit there and try to learn songs that were, getting played along on the radio. And I think my dad loved The Rose by Bette Midler.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember figuring that out. And that might've been like the first song that I like.
You remember how to do it?
Not off the top of my head, but I can pull it up. The problem is I know 5,000 songs at this point.
He's got 5,000 songs in
his head.
It's really tough to remember everything, so, but yeah, it goes.
The Rose, remember that?
Yes,
that was my 8th grade graduation song.
Oh,
It is. That was my 8th grade
Suki,
graduation.
you made out to with a
No,
Rose,
it's my 8th grade graduation song.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is hunger, and then the second need. And it's without the reverb, but yeah, that was like.
Joe,
the words.
How dare you come on this show without reverb, Joe?
No.
So that was the first song.
And I think, you know, there's probably some others, but that was the first one I really figured out, because every time my dad would see me at the piano, I'd be like, play the Rose, play the Rose.
Oh.
That, and I think I can't remember how. My parents watched Hill Street Blues.
Oh my God, Hill Street Blues.
Yeah, now I hear it. Yeah.
I had to go to bed. I remember when I heard certain theme songs as a kid, I was like, all right, that's bedtime. So it was
Love Boat was mine.
Hill Street Blues
Or Fantasy Island.
The Love Boat. Now, Suki, you may not know this about
Joe.
By the way, very cool with the sleeve tattoos.
Yep.
Cracker Jacks.
So, Joe, I don't know if you know this about me, but I've been at WWE for about 15 years now.
Yeah.
We used to have a guy who he was on our show, Suk, the Big Show.
Yeah, the Big Show.
I don't know if you may not have been there.
I was there.
Were you there that day?
I was there for the Big Show.
Big Show is like 7'2", 400 pounds.
Okay.
So Big Show, when he was WWE for the longest time, he would come out to his theme song, would go, well, it's the Big Show.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know this.
Right.
Turns out Joe is the voice of the Big Show's music.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that come about, Joe?
Unbelievable.
It's a crazy story, but I was in my band. I was a band called Brand New Sin, and we were out on the road we were touring with Motorhead, and this was in 2005.
With Motorhead?
Motorhead, yes. And we were playing up at the Hampton Beach Casino in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. And Motorhead did Triple H's theme song forever, and it had a very close relationship with Lemmy. So that night of the show, you know, the crew of Motorhead's like, hey, you know, Triple H is going to be out tonight. Triple H is going to be out tonight. And we're like, oh, cool. You know, he probably won't be here for our short, you know, our spot in the show, you know, but it's cool. Maybe we'll meet him. So we're playing the show, and about a song in, I see two people run down from backstage in between the barricade and the stage, and it's Stephanie and Hunter. And they got, you know, that was when Hunter still had his hair. I mean, this is 2005, early 2005. So, I mean, he was still very much into the, you know, wrestling. I think he might've been hurt at that time, but so they're down there and they're banging their heads and they're looking up and their fist bumping me. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. You know? So we get done. I go into the dressing room, and all of a sudden I hear a knock on the door, and I'm like, come in. And it's Triple H and Stephanie, and they come in and sit down, and they're just hanging out with us. They're like, wow, you guys. And, you know, we really think you would be a, you know, good fit somewhere at WWE. You know, we're always looking for stuff like that. And it's one thing to, like, you know, meet a, you know, maybe whether you call them a jobber or somebody who's a little bit lower on the totem pole, you're like, well, you know, maybe they'll make something happen. But this is the daughter of the owner and the son-in-law, you know, poised to take over at some point.
Yeah, which he has.
Yeah, and they grabbed all of our stuff. We hung out. We had the greatest time. Hunter and Stephanie were just absolute, you know, pleasures to be around. And a few weeks later, our manager got a call from the WWE and said, hey, they definitely want to use you. We just don't know. They just don't know what yet. So we had a little deal with them saying, hey, you know, we're gonna figure this out. And then it was in the fall. And a few months later, we finally got a phone call. We were out on the road. I remember this clearly. We were in Charleston, South Carolina, getting ready to play a show. And our manager called and said, hey, the WWE is on the line. We want to jump in. So they jumped in and they said, hey, we finally found a song for you. We're bringing back Big Show. Because I think at that time he had taken a break. He might have been hurt. So, like, we're bringing him back. We want to rebrand his character. We have the old theme song, because the old theme song was sang by Michael Hayes, which is a former.
Mike, he's still there.
Yeah. And he sang it, but it was, you know, very bluesy. And they're like, we need something that has, you know, a little more balls to it. Yeah. So can you take that song and, guys, put your spin on it? And then like a week and a half later, we were going to be routed up, and we were going to have like 2 days off. We were playing Springfield, Massachusetts, on our way to Toledo. We had 2 days off, and they're like, come to WWE headquarters and we'll record the song. So
off to Connecticut you go.
we went to Stamford, Connecticut, and got there real early in the morning. It was on a Monday, so everything was really crazy that day. We got to work with Jim Johnstone, who was the longtime
Jim, yeah,
everything music from 1984 all the way up
forever.
Not too long ago, a few years ago, everything was Jim. So we went into the studios at WWE, and they were getting ready for Monday Night Raw, so they're juggling a million things. And we went in and we worked out that theme song that day.
And you sound everybody always thought that was Big Show doing it's the big show. Sounded just like him.
The crazy thing is that there's, about every week or so that song starts going viral on some reel on social media, and somebody sent it to me, whether it's some kind of whatever it's being used. And then I always chime in. I go, "That's me singing," and everyone's like, "Oh, you got
to do it now."
You're so full.
Can you do it off the cuff?
Yeah. Well, it's a big show. It's a big bad show tonight. Well, it's a big show. Crank it up. Turn on them lights. Turn them on.
Wow.
That's so fun. It's amazing. I couldn't believe when I saw that.
Right, and no one on social media like, oh, you're full of whatever,
You're like, no, man, that's me.
It's me, but you can believe me or not, or Google search would obviously show you that it was me. But what a run! But I mean, it's one of those things that literally tens of millions of people have heard my voice. I could be sitting next to them. I've been at WWE events, and a song goes off, and I'm like, that's me, and it's like,
yeah, sure it is.
Sure it is.
Oh, that's so funny.
Listen, let's talk about some of your original music, because obviously that's kind of how you got everybody from WWE to pay attention. I mean, you're going out on the tour with Motorhead. I mean,
it's been. I mean, if you look at the wall over here,
right?
That's really my career in a nutshell. Which has, there's the WWE album right there, but I had my band Brand New Sin, which is like hard rock and heavy metal. And then I have what I call Just Joe, which is just me and the piano, which I all started as we'd come home from tours. I didn't want to, it was real tough to go get a day job because we didn't know how long we were going to be home for. So I just started playing in bars and just playing cover songs. And when I left Brand New Sin in 2007, 2008, I just started doing this full time. So everyone was like, "Well, who are you?" I was like, "Used to be Joe from Brand New Sin." I'm like, "Well, I'm Just Joe now." So
Just Joe. By the way, Brand New Sin, weren't you guys featured like as one of the bands in School of Rock?
Yep. Yeah, we're one of the extras in the background. I mean, you'll see our heads for like, "Oh, there we are." Pause it. There we are. Pause it. There we are. Pause it. So we're in the scenes for the battle bands, never performing, but we were, implied as one of the other bands.
Yeah.
In that movie. So
that's great.
So, I have the ability with my voice to do all kinds of, whether it's heavy metal or, ballady stuff. I was blessed with a throat that was be able to have, go in different genres. So, my solo stuff is more singer-songwriter style or country or whatever comes out of me. I don't really care what genre it is anymore. I don't have to answer to a record label or anybody. So it's like, whatever this song sounds like, it sounds like.
Give us one of your favorites. What do you like? You want to do an original? You want to do a cover?
No, let me do an original.
That's good.
I'm going to put the reverb on this time.
Nice. Light it up. I need some reverb, baby.
So it sounds up. But this is a song that I did about a year and a half ago, and then I got another resurgence on social media because I put it up. Because I mean, the hard thing is sometimes, everyone just wants to hear those covers, and then you put up an original, and it's like crickets. So this one's called "Break." I always hurt the ones I love. I feel that they'll leave
step out the door before they can see. The painted wrongs deep, deeper than I ever knew. My fear of abandonment haunts me. And I run, so I don't see. It's the walls that I keep up. Break the cycle, break the chain. Release a child, feel the pain. Don't be so scared to let it go. I can't take much more of this. Broken hearts in the abyss. Don't be so scared to let it go. As soon as they see too much of me, I self-destruct. So the blame is all on me. Carry that weight, 'cause it's easier than to heal the pain decades long ago. And I run, so I don't see. It's the walls that I keep up. Break the cycle, break the chain. Release a child, feel the pain. Don't be so scared to let it go. I can't take much more of this. Broken hearts in the abyss. Don't be so scared to let it go.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful, Joe.
Suki, do you know if I was able to do that, if I was able to do, you know how many girlfriends I would have if I was able to do that? Can you imagine how many girlfriends I would get?
Can you just share with Joe that how you were
Joe, by the way, I've on Instagram, I've seen you and your girlfriend together.
Yeah.
Now she's like an amazing acrobat, right?
Yeah, she's well, the crazy thing is she before she become an aerial artist, because she does pole dancing, but silks and hoop and everything else.
Yeah.
International championship, national championship.
Wow.
Owns a studio in Scranton, PA called Aries Aerial Arts.
Oh, wow.
Right in Scranton. But before that, she was a professional natural bodybuilder, champion bodybuilder, and trained a ton of people in New York City. Her ex-husband used to work on the Opie and Anthony show back in the day.
Oh, really? I wonder. I knew everybody on the Opie and Anthony show, Suki. I wonder who that is.
It was his name was Steve Carlisi.
Oh, Steve Carlisi.
Yeah, that was her ex-husband. And so she had a thing called the muscle sorority. So she was training everybody from she trained Dane Cook.
We had Dane on recently.
Yeah. She trained Kevin Smith, the Manhattan Madam, if you remember her.
I remember the Manhattan
Madam. Yeah, the Manhattan Madam. She had the book.
So she's had quite a history in the fitness world, and then she walked away from bodybuilding and got into aerial arts, and now is retired from competing, but she's got we were up in Boston in November. She had 17 students competing up there, and I think 14
That's
of them.
incredible.
She's got it. She's got to love you with this piano playing and singing.
Oh, she does. She does. The first time she ever came up to visit me, she sat right in this chair right here, and I played for her for hours.
You son of a gun, you.
Look at him.
I want to do that once.
Yeah.
Just once.
Just once. He wants to live out that fantasy. I told you there.
Listen,
Joe.
I saw you I was going through some of your stuff, and I saw you doing a little Beth by Kiss.
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh.
Can you give me a little of that one?
Of course. That's
It was real. It was, and as a matter of fact, I was playing it in the radio station and one of the guys behind me was like, "Wow, who's that? He sounds really good." That's my boy Joe. He's doing
put
better.
Joe on 1010?
No, I was playing it on my computer in the station.
Okay.
And it was loud, and the guys behind me were like, "Wow, that guy's really good."
Yeah. So Joe, his other job is he's also the morning news anchor for 1010 Wins. So
he's a hustler. So it goes like this.
Go ahead.
If I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. Me and the boys are playing, and we just can't find the sound. Just a few more hours, and I'll be right home with you. I think I hear them calling, but Beth, what can I do? Beth, what can I do?
Beautiful.
I love it. Do you remember they had just recently they had a skit on social media where the band is playing and they're all dressed up, and he does the song, but as if he really took a call from her, and he's like, "Beth, I hear you calling. I can't come home right now." He's like,
the guys are in the background.
Yeah, the guys in the background.
Trying to figure this out.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like, the boys are playing.
It's been circulating around for a number of years, and
I love
anyone goes to YouTube or socials, you can easily find it.
Oh, it's great. He's like, "Just a few more hours, I'll be right home." That was really good.
Joe, I know you're probably busy, performing. I mean, we're just coming into the new year, so just tell us where people can find you.
Yeah.
JustJoe.com is the easiest way. I mean, that's usually my landing spot, or any of my social media. You'll find me as Just Joe Syracuse, because I couldn't get Just Joe when I first started doing all this. So I had them like, all right, what's going to make me stand out? So that's how I brand myself pretty much all across social media. And you can also, as Joe Altier, you can find me on all that stuff. But up to this point, I'm usually playing 300, 250, 300 shows, events every year. But now I'm starting to get more into studio work, more into content creation. I'm just about to revamp my website because I want to get into consulting, because I don't want to necessarily manage your band or book your band. I don't want to do that, because I think artists are going to always be their best manager and their best everything else. But I've been doing this for nearly 30 years, and I come from the old school of, putting flyers up on, telephone poles. He's at a show after the show. Hey, come see my band. Come see my band. All the way up through social media. And during COVID, I had a lot of success on Twitch. And so I kind of navigated into the social media world. So like, I want to start guiding younger artists, and I got 5 or 6 different categories where you can hire me, from performance to branding to everything else. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to collaborate with a lot of things. Tonight, after I get done here, I'm driving to Albany to be a part of the Extreme Metal Awards up in Albany, New York. They have an awards show, and then afterwards it's a who's who of people in metal, from Dave Ellefson from Megadeth, and Gary Holt from Exodus, and Slayer, and bands like Shadows Fall, and all these guys from the hardcore scene in New England. And we're all getting together and we're jamming a ton of songs afterwards. So I get to go play metal guy for the weekend, and then I got to be back on Sunday to play a brunch at a diner in Port Byron, New York. So
love that.
It's never a dull moment.
It's an eclectic schedule.
It is, but I am your blue collar musician. You have the Taylor Swifts, you have the Nickelbacks, you have all those in the echelon, and then there's us people down here in the trenches.
Yeah,
are the blue collar musicians, and you have to be diversified. You have to have the ability to morph and chameleon into different roles. There's no difference like being an actor. Someone's like, how can you be singing Slayer songs and Anthrax songs on Saturday, and then Sunday morning you're going to be playing Commodores and George Jones? Old people.
It's all good.
Diner. I'm like, that's how you make a living in this business.
Can I tell you something? I have this funny feeling, and I don't know why, but I just watching you like talk about your original music and just seeing sort of the evolution of who you are and how you're able to mix genres. Do you know what I see him doing?
Go ahead.
Scoring movies, like original movie
I could see
songs.
that.
Because you've got this incredible depth, and your vocal skills. Not only that, and your obvious musicianship, but your ability to
Get women?
to write music, like words. That's a gift in itself. And
and it's a lot of it has been like the one thing that really made me blow up on social media was to like reimagine songs and either put them in a different light, put them in minor key, and that was really what took off on the socials, like taking a heavy metal song, turn it into a ballad. Like I took Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff and turned it into a ballad, and Fred Durst shared it. And my first big one was taking Brown Eyed Girl, and it's this happy brown.
Van Morrison.
Let me hear. Go ahead. Let me hear a little bit.
All right, and this is what I did with it, and this is my first viral moment on social media. So it goes like this.
Hey, where do we go? Days when the rains came down in a hollow, playing a new game, laughing and running, hey, hey, skipping and jumping in the misty morning fall with our hearts thumping and just you, my brown-eyed girl.
Wow, it makes you want to cry.
You, my brown-eyed girl.
Oh my God. Take a happy song
Suki's
and
crying.
bring out
She's
the
crying,
tissues.
Joe.
It's
Suki's
incredible.
I do this often, and sometimes people are like, oh my God, it's so amazing. And then other people get like really offended. They're like, to this song. Like I just put up Highway to Hell by AC/DC. I was in a big studio here in Syracuse on a grand piano, and I did it as it went like that. And someone commented, and I love these. Like, I know I'm gonna get, the bigger you get, the more hate you're gonna get thrown your way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. But I start screenshotting all these
comments,
free comments, and I'm calling it on this episode of Richard's on the Internet, so. But one guy's like, Bon Scott would punch you in the face and Angus Young would slam you upside of the head with his guitar. How dare you? It's like,
that is
wow.
So great.
I'm like,
now,
thank you for the comment. Thank you for the algorithm boost.
Yeah. Can you do a little of that on that piano? Would that work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead. Let me hear. And then we're going to do a little lyrics game with Joe.
Yes.
Joe's going to hit us with a little lyrics game.
Oh boy.
Where's Highway there?
I think Joe is a little his playlist runs a little deeper than ours.
No, I'll be nice to you guys.
He's got a lot of songs.
Living easy, living free. Season ticket on a one-way ride. Asking nothing, leave me be. Taking everything in stride. Going down, party time. My friends are gonna be there too. I'm on a highway to hell. I'm on the highway to hell. Yeah, so I do.
Can I tell you something? I could see that version of the song on like an eerie TV show. Or like one
Stranger
of these
Things,
or like a Ray Ray Donovan where he's swirling into.
Yeah.
I could totally hear that version.
Yeah, I've done. If you go to any of my my streaming sites, anything on the Spotify, whatever you use, and just put in Just Joe, I've released dozens and dozens of versions of like that. Out there, and everyone's like, man, I could see this being in a movie, and nothing has happened yet. But one of these days, it's all
gonna happen,
man. You only need one.
Somebody's gonna see that, and it's like, oh my God, and then you're gonna hear it in some movie, and it's gonna snowball into that.
Totally.
And the reality is, the more viral these things go, it's somebody is gonna hear it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I listened to a podcast once with Chris Stapleton on it, and everyone's like, "How did you get to where you are now?" And he's like, "I saw a door, I ran through it, and then I saw another open door, and I ran through it, and I just kept running through doors. Sometimes I ran into a wall, and I went back out, and I ran through a door." Yeah. It's like you gotta, instead of trying to take, you might go viral at one point, but like me, I don't mind that I've gone viral after having 25 years of
a music career.
Foundation. Yeah. So that if it does happen, or if these things, I'm kind of ready for, the moment. I'm ready for it. Like I'm not just gonna be like, oh, do I follow this up? I'm like, no, I got all the ways to follow this up. So
yeah.
But I never know. I mean, I've been doing this. I never knew that day that we played in New Hampshire that, Hunter and Stephanie were to show up and I would end up singing one of the most iconic theme songs ever. You don't know.
That is great. That's great. Yeah. Next time I run into him at the studio, I got to make sure I tell him.
Yeah, tell him. Tell him I said hello. It's been a long time, and they were always so gracious. Like when we went to backstage or we were doing some press with them. The one thing about the WWE is, man, what a professionally run.
Oh yeah.
Still felt like family. We never felt like we were, being pushed aside. We were very welcomed. Mm-hmm. All the time by everybody from Vince all the way down to to everybody in that organization was super cool to us, and I especially Triple H, because he really kind of took us under a wing. Hey, who do you want to meet? The only person I was starstruck, like I was, I don't get starstruck very often because I've been in you've been around this business. It's hard to get starstruck. Every once in a while, you get starstruck by certain people. But when Undertaker walked into the ring, and Undertaker is by far my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah, of course.
And Hunter's like, you want to go meet him? I'm like, no. I don't know what to say to him. I'm going to sound like a blithering idiot. But
he's a big boy.
He's a big boy. But, eventually I got to meet him, and what a class act, Mark is as well. So.
Great. You ready? You ready to give us a little lyrics quiz?
Boy. Yeah, all right. I'm just
now, how do you want to do this? Are we finishing lyrics? Are we naming songs? What are we doing?
I'm just gonna pick a song, and I'm just gonna say. Do you want me to sing the line, or do you want me to just say the line and see if you can get it?
No,
because
yeah.
If I sing it, it'll be way easier. If you sing the line,
you sing it and you stop where we need to pick up. If we could see, if we could pick it up with.
Yeah. Okay.
It's gonna be easier, he said.
Well, let's try. Let's see.
And then we'll make it harder.
This is the first one, and it's it. But where am I gonna look? They tell me that love is blind. I really need a girl like an open book to read between the lines.
See, I need some music. I need you to play.
Love is gonna take a look. I can't play this one. All right, hang on. I'm like, wait a minute. I wasn't even ready to play that. So
you gave us one you can't play?
How about this one?
Go ahead.
Every time I look in the mirror, all these lies and face getting clearer.
The past is gone.
Right on. Let's scroll down, because I've got so many songs. I'm just gonna pick one.
That's so
hey, here's one that was funny.
Sing with me, sing for the year, sing for.
What a probably top 5 greatest rock song.
Yeah, everybody always used to think it was.
Is that your top 5?
It was Sing Women.
Yeah, no.
But it's Sing With Me.
Yeah,
Sing with me. How about this one?
Go ahead.
I remember
come on, Barry Manilow.
raining down as cold as ice. Shadows of a man.
I face through a window, crying in the night. The night goes
into morning.
Just another day.
That's a great.
Happy people pass my way. We're giving away Barry Manilow next week, by the way. Looking in your eyes,
I see a memory.
How about this one?
Go ahead.
Everybody's high on consolation.
I know this song.
Everybody's trying to tell me what's right for me. I need a drink and a quick decision.
Oh, it's
now to me, or will it be? Oh,
she's gone. All right.
That's Hall and Oates, right?
Yes.
She's gone.
All right. All right. I'll be a devil to replace it. She's gone.
Yeah, what a great! I mean, you can't ever go wrong with Hall and Oates.
They hate each other.
Even
They
though
hate each other.
they've
And you
hated
know
each other. They've hated
Why?
each other.
Why
a
do they hate
long
each
time.
other? Why? I don't get it.
I guess that hatred goes way back, but they were like, "This is making us too much money. Who cares?"
We're too rich.
They sued each other a couple of years ago, which is crazy. So
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
All right, you ready for another one?
Yes.
Oh, all right. How about this one?
That was a good one.
This one.
I love Hall and Oates.
Just past it. There it is. This is a song I loved as a kid. So late at night, I'm all alone. Just the music on the radio. No one's coming. No one's gonna telephone. You and me and the lights down low, and we're
Suki, I know it.
Slow
I know. Dancing, playing to the music. Oh, that's great.
Johnny Rivers.
Yeah.
Johnny Rivers.
Let's do
You're
one
like,
more.
Suki, you know it.
I couldn't get it with the tune.
Oh man.
Stuck there, but you want another one?
Yeah, one more.
All right.
That's a good song.
That's great.
Can I tell you something?
being in his house, just drinking
Oh
on a
my
Saturday,
God, I
and
wouldn't
you
even
just
know what to do.
sing
I
all
wouldn't
night.
even know what to do.
Let me see if I can try to stop. Oh, here we go. This one was always one of my favorites in the early 90s.
All right.
So hold on, little girl. Show me what he's done to you. Stand up, little girl. The rugged heart can't be that bad when it's true. It's true. Fable twists of both of you. Come on, baby, come on over. Let me be the one to show you.
I'm the one who wants to be with you.
Mr. Big.
Yes, that was a good song.
It. Joe, what's the most popular cover that people constantly ask you to do?
That's a good question.
What's the number one?
Piano Man.
Oh,
Is it Piano Man?
Because you are the Piano Man.
I hate that song so much.
That's like when you go to Nashville and you ask them to play Leonard Skinner,
Freebird or Wagon Wheel. Like there's certain songs. So like
Wagon Wheel.
But someone sees a guy playing piano and like, Piano Man.
Piano Man.
And a lot of times I'll have QR codes so you can request. And I have this thing where it opens up a website and it kind of looks like the Touch Tunes jukebox. And you go inside of there and that's how you can request. And it puts in a queue and all that stuff. And you can put minimum donations on there for the song. And when it comes to Piano Man, it's usually $50, sometimes $100.
Oh my
God. Yeah, that's $100.
You're like, I gotta do it.
Listen, I can do what I want. Billy Joel has a deep catalog. Can we pick something else? But every once in a while, if it's a good night and everyone's having fun, I'll pull out. I can't play harmonica, but I can do that thing. I'll put the little thing on and I'll play it, but yeah, it's usually, Piano Man, Don't Stop Believing, Wagon Wheel, songs like that are just like, burned in people's,
So before we go, what's your favorite Billy Joel song to do?
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's so many.
You're on a music talent show for $1 million. You gotta play. You gotta play one song for $1 million victory.
Song Down Easter Alexa.
Oh,
let me give me about a minute of that. Let me.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many great Billy Joel songs, and I could usually.
It's a very underrated album too.
Very underrated. Like people sometimes forget how great he was in the 80s portion of his career. So let me put the little verb on there, but let's do this one. But I love this song right here. So
I like that.
Well, I'm on the Down Easter Alexa, and I'm cruising through Block Island Sound. I have charted a course for the vineyard, but tonight I am Nantucket bound.
We took home diesel back in Montauk yesterday and left this morning from the bed in Guardians Bay. Like all the locals here, I've had to sell my home. Too proud to leave, I've worked my fingers to the bone. Yeah, that's
beautiful.
One of my
I could listen to that.
I love it.
Well, you know what? He's touring with Stevie Nicks this summer.
Yeah, this summer, and he's coming to Yankee Stadium with Rod Stewart.
We gotta go see this.
Yeah, he's coming to Syracuse, but it's with Sting. It's him and Sting.
Right, with Sting.
I would love to see Sting, but I was really hoping for Stevie Nicks because I love
Stevie Nicks. I'm gonna go see Stevie Nicks and Billy Joel.
We had
Connecticut.
We had several Billy Joel's guys on.
Well, the saxophone player.
We had this.
Why are we forgetting
his name?
Okay, Jeff.
Jeff,
jump in.
we can't hear you, but I say
Mark
Rivera. Mark was on, and we also had the other fellow who was on.
Mike Del Judas.
Mike Del Judas.
Hometown boy.
Yeah. Mike was on with us, but
I have a friend a friend of mine is good friends with Mike Del Judas.
Yeah, those guys are great. Joe, listen, man, I could sit here and listen to you all day. You're fantastic.
It'd be a lot of fun.
You got to come on. One of these days, we'll get you in live so we can all hang together and we could sing properly.
Yeah,
you are so talented, Joe. I mean, just
I appreciate you guys having me on today. So
I think that Joe, just like Mike Del Judas, you could be Mike Del Judas because that's how he started as well.
He did, yeah, and that's what everyone says. They're like, you never know, Mike just kind of all of a sudden stumbled on this crazy thing. So I'm all right with that.
Yeah. Well, when we're in a giant studio with a studio audience on a network show, Joe, you're going to be our band leader.
Dude, count me in. I'm in.
Can you imagine him?
You're incredible.
And Phil.
Yeah, him and Phil, right?
You're incredible. You're incredible.
Joe, tell everybody where they can catch you one more time, bud.
JustJoe.com. Easiest thing in the world. And on there, that'll take you to all my other socials, or you can find me on all the social medias by looking Just Joe or Joe Altier, Just Joe Syracuse. You'll find me. I'll pop up. You can add some nice comments. You can read the funny hate comments. It's awesome. It's a fun time.
It's good.
I love it. Joe, thank you, buddy.
Time with us.
Thank you so much, everybody. Take care.
Thank you. And tell your gorgeous girlfriend we said hello to.
She's great. He's great. Wow. I told you, Sue, talented guy, right?
Talented.
We've had some of our best shows with people that we have found on social media.
Just trying to do their thing, like he said.
So thousands of followers. Some of them have millions of followers. And wow, so many talented people. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this wonderful edition of the Suki and Scott Show. Suki, our first one of the well, no, I won't say that because
no, just do it again.
Yeah. I don't want to. Ready? 3, 2. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition of the Suki and Scott Show. We have so many great celebs and performers coming up. It is going to be an amazing, amazing time right here on this fine program. Suki, anything you want to add?
I just want to say thank you as always for watching us. It's always a pleasure, and hopefully we got a chance to entertain you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
The sun is coming up and I'm just going down. Everywhere I look, the world keeps turning round. Though I said I never would be satisfied, yeah, baby, I lied. I couldn't leave you if I tried. Sometimes I get lost out in this sad old town, and every bridge I cross just turns me upside down. Every stumbling step I take back to your side, it hurts my pride. I couldn't leave you if I tried. Well, I could not walk away, no matter what I say. I won't be leaving, believe it or don't. You're all that I want. Tears may fall, but after all is said and done, Darling, please believe me, you're the only one. And I'll admit mistakes I made me realize. Baby, I lied, I couldn't leave you if I tried, yeah. Be leaving you no matter what I do. I'm gonna see it through till the end and do it again. Years may come and friends may go, but that's okay. Yeah, darling, you're the only one I need to stay. I know I said I never would be satisfied. Oh, baby, I lied. I couldn't leave you if I tried. I couldn't leave you if I tried. Yeah.
The Suki and Scott Show. The Suki and Scott Show. Show. The Suki and Scott Show. The Suki and Scott Show.